And now we have a Marine court-martialed for refusing to remove a Bible verse from her computer.
A U.S. Marine has been convicted at a court-martial for displaying a Bible verse.
Lance Corporal Monifa Sterling is now appealing her conviction for refusing to take down a Bible verse that was taped to her desk.
It was just another sign on the desk of another American worker. Actually, it was in paper in 3 different places. Though it was a Lance Corporal in the Marines who wanted to send a message to her fellow workers about having patience, and it got her more than a rebuke. The Marines busted her for bad conduct, discharged her from the military, cost her any chance at vets benefits, and on the surface, it would seem to be all about religious belief. Our guest is Executive Director of the Congressional Prayer Caucus Foundation, a staunch supporter of religious rights. Welcome, Lea Carawan, to MidPoint. Lea, it's good to see you again.
Thank you, Ed. It's a privilege to be with you.
Lea, is it not fair that we have to look at this in its entirety and see what it is? Because you're right, there is a Bible verse here from the Old Testament, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." And apparently she was sending a message to all her fellow Marines saying, don't come complain to me. Everybody just get some patience. Well put. But she did disobey a superior. She did have it in 28-point print on pages in 3 different places. And when her superior took it down and told her not to bring it back, she brought it back the next day. So isn't it fair to say that there is a little insubordination here as well that we must consider as the full story?
We can certainly consider that as the full story. But again, there's a bigger law here. We have a Constitution. And the military, we don't check our faith at the door just because we go into the military. And it was blatantly unconstitutional that her commanders were telling her to take that down. So I actually applaud her for standing up for her rights, because the truth is, if we don't stand up for the rights that the Constitution has given us, we will lose those rights. And we're seeing that happen across the board. One after another, people are being told they can't do something, when in reality they absolutely can.
Well, if you look at some of the numbers and you find the religious affiliation of military members, you'll find that 69% of all military in some form are Christian. So it would seem to be that they certainly have Christians there. They would like to make sure that they are well served. But doesn't it again come back to the fact that she's part of the military? And let's be honest, too, the military helps create and not only, but helps protect our First Amendment rights. So why would they do something like this if indeed they are protecting those rights?
I think just misguided, misinformed, and then a pressure from groups like the Freedom from Religion Foundation, who are coming in and putting pressure on them and trying to get them to do something that is unconstitutional. And so really, again, I think it's just unaware of what their rights really are, and we just need to make sure that they understand that every military personnel has the right to religious freedom, and this Christian woman, Corporal, is no exception.
And again, we're not taking any umbrage whatsoever with the fact that she's a Christian, she believes, and that's wonderful, and she wants to spread her message. But in your opinion, then, should a Marine, a member of the military, be allowed and within a right to disobey a direct order if it speaks to their religious beliefs? Should they be allowed to do that?
Well, again, I think she did it right. She put it back up and said, this is my constitutional right. And then I think, she's now gone to the authorities of the law and policy folks that can stand with her and take this to court. It's sad that it has to go to court, but yes, I absolutely do, because again, it comes back to, there is such an aggressive and intentional attack on religious freedom today that we have to take a stand. Everybody has to take a stand every single time that somebody backs off and says, okay, never mind, I won't stand for my religious freedom. That freedom is one step closer from being taken away from everybody. And that's why you have to take a stand for these things that are fundamental to the Constitution. This shouldn't even be a conversation. It's so far afield.
I also want to get your opinion on something else here, and here's what happened at the University of Toledo. Here's a quick soundbite.
Our Father, Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Let's go.
Lee, I've only got about 45 seconds left here, but 3 professionals, 3 experts, say that the coach here, the UT football coach, violated the First Amendment by conducting a team-wide prayer. So again, they're saying that he violated the First Amendment. So what do we do about this when a coach says, I want to pray?
He did not violate the First Amendment. They are not, I don't know what these guys are talking about. Of course he has a constitutional right. We do not check our faith at the door just because we go into the public square. That looks like the same prayer that has been prayed throughout history by leaders, government leaders, presidents, coaches. I mean, this is not, people need to understand, this is not just a moral decline in our country. These are people who are trying to remove God, and we're not going to let them. We absolutely need to stand for our religious freedom and our rights to pray the Lord's Prayer to coach in a school.
And I want to point out to everybody that this came from a freedom from religion assertion about all this. And you're right, there are others who also say that it was within the parameters of the First Amendment. Boy, we've got so much to do and we're all out of time. Lea, please come back again because we have to keep looking at this and keep bringing it to the fore. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Ed.
Always a pleasure. Coming up next, the global upheaval featuring Interpol, bribes, intrigue, and football. And it's getting worse. It comes up next, right here on MidPoint.